Hi, Chad here with Purple Collar Life. In today's video, we're going to be talking about firewood, but more specifically, the source of the firewood, all these trees in the background. If you're new to the channel, thank you for joining me. I really appreciate it. This channel, Purple Collar Life, is all about the combination of work we do. We have primarily white collar jobs, but we live here in rural Pennsylvania on about 70 acres of family land. This land has been in the family for at least 4 generations, maybe longer. So today's video, again, is about firewood and the source of that firewood. So let me tell you the inspiration for this video. I did a video where I was actually splitting wood for these 2 totes. That is by far our most popular video on the channel. Thank you to all of you who have watched that video and subscribed because of that video. These are some of the totes that I split of that wood. And many people commented, we read every single comment, many people commented that they're surprised we're splitting this cherry firewood. So as you can see, this firewood is entirely cherry, and lots of people have commented that splitting the cherry is a waste because the cherry doesn't burn very good. The cherry makes excellent woodworking wood, and it's a shame to waste it for firewood. Let me explain a little bit about why this is all cherry, and it might be evident just if we lift our heads a little bit looking back through our woods. So not all 70 acres of land that we live on is wooded. There are some open fields, but a lot of this is wood, and a lot of it is Pennsylvania hardwoods. But if we look through here, you'll see cherry, 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 a couple maple, a big cherry here, cherry right behind it, 3 maple trees back there, 1 oak tree here, another oak tree here. So if we just scan through the woods, let's see what we've got for firewood. Look at this little guy, a little pine tree growing here. No idea how that got here or how it got started. That's a cute little tree. That will not be firewood. So here we're a little bit deeper in the woods, looking through. You can see there's another cherry tree there. And as I look down here, a lot of what I see is cherry and maple and a couple oak trees. So where we're standing right now was actually a windstorm that came through. You can see a tree there. This tree that's all covered with snow and its root there. A tree laying down there. Another root turned over there with a tree. A hanging tree there. So when that windstorm came through and blew over trees, those trees became our future firewood. We don't just walk through the woods and cut down trees for firewood. We take care of trees that have fallen down in a windstorm or that are standing dead wood. So that's kind of part of the reason that most of the wood we have is cherry, because as you look through these woods, most of the wood in our property is cherry hardwood. So this particular tree laying here, that's a maple. That tree laying right down there is a cherry. And that tree that is leaning looks like it's also a maple. But that's a little bit of the explanation of why we burn cherry. It's because that's what we have available to us. That's what is easy for us to get to here on our property. And when you have an abundance of a certain type of wood, that's probably what you're going to use as firewood. And in our case, at least in these trees right here, that's going to be maple and cherry. Now I'll be the first to admit that cherry or even maple, like this one behind me, does not burn in the firewood as good as oak. But the cherry does burn. It is a good Pennsylvania hardwood. It burns hot, it makes lots of coals, and it makes a really nice smell. Now the types of trees on our property do change based upon where you are on the property. As I look out across here, you know, in the wintertime it's a lot easier to see through the woods, but I'm going to say it's probably 50% cherry, 30% maple, 10% oak, and then just other stuff. Now this tree is actually not a tree, It's the top of another tree that blew off in a storm. So you can see down here at the bottom, that's just laying on the ground. That'll be easy to yank with the chain, and that can be future firewood. So looking again through this section of the woods, got a maple here, then a cherry with a Y in it, another maple, 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 another cherry here. Looking back behind, I've got another cherry with a Y, a wide cherry there. So hopefully this video helps explain why we were splitting and cutting so much cherry wood. That's just what we have, and that's what we burn in the fireplace. It is beautiful wood. Probably if we had a sawmill, we would turn some of this into boards that we could use decoratively throughout the house or the other buildings. We do not have a sawmill. What we do have is a wood burner, and this makes great firewood. Again, not as great as oak, but really good firewood. So here I'm right beside the 40 by 60 building. All the snow has slid off the roof. One of the things I love about a metal roof is that snow sliding off. But you can see here for about a 20-foot section off the edge of the building, you wouldn't want to have a car parked or anything valuable, because when that snow comes down, it comes down hard. We can actually hear it in the house falling off of the big building here. And you can see that it just hits and kind of slides down a little bit of a bank here, and it carries down at least to those trees. So that's a good 20-foot width that you would not want to have something parked right beside your building when that snow comes down. So here's some more firewood that we'll be talking about in a future video, but this firewood is about 90% oak. So when I throw this in the fire, do I notice a difference between it and the cherry? Absolutely. Hands down, the oak burns hotter, it burns longer, and it makes better coals. However, like I've said multiple times, we have more cherry. So we're gonna have more cherry firewood than oak firewood. So there you go. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. It helped answer those questions about why you see so much cherry firewood on the channel. Do I wish that our land had more oak? Obviously for firewood purposes that would be nice, but I am very thankful for the land that we have. It's not lost on me that a lot of people would love to have property like this, live in a nice rural area. We live in the sticks, as they say. Our house is right in the middle of the woods, surrounded by trees. Beautiful area. We actually can't see another house from our house other than the house across the road and up the hill that we bought in a previous video called Buy Dirt. So wouldn't trade this type of living for anything. I visited a lot of cities, and while cities have a lot of entertainment, great food options, and a lot of benefits to living in a city, for me, that's not my lifestyle. I'd rather be out here in the woods, a little bit more privacy. I like spending my time outside. I like cutting down firewood, driving the tractor, and just doing work out here on the property. Thanks for watching. If you like this or if it informed you in some way, please click that thumbs up button. It helps out the channel, helps out this video, and we really appreciate it. If you're not already a subscriber, click that subscribe button. We'd love to have you follow us along here in our purple collar life. And we'll see you again the next time. My least favorite trees are these little ones you're looking at right in front of you, those crabapple thorn trees. I've had lots of flat tires, plenty of scraped arms, even a scraped head that required 3 staples because of these crabapple trees. But just looking out over that property, again, just reminds me how fortunate we are to live where we live